Now at the Capitol today, a hearing for two separate bills dealing with child abuse laws.
A lot of the opposition came from the way things were worded. Channel 8's Mackenzie Johnson was at the hearing today. She brings us more details. Mackenzie?
In Nebraska, the law requires anyone who suspects child abuse to report it, even if they don't have training. If you don't report abuse, you could be subject to criminal charges.
This policy not only fails to improve child safety, it creates problems. Nebraska's over-reporting rates are very high, with an average of 94% of reports in the last 5 years not meeting our abuse or neglect definitions. Such high caseloads create safety risks with potential oversights or delays in responding to real child harm.
Senator Terrell McKinney's LB 271 would change the law Nebraska currently has related to reporting child abuse. If it passes, only certain trained professionals would be required to report suspected child abuse or neglect, including teachers, medical professionals, and law enforcement. Anyone who suspects abuse or neglect should still report it, they just couldn't be criminally charged for not reporting. But those in opposition say this could be more harmful than helpful.
What's abundantly clear is that these children and all children in Nebraska need as many people and systems working in their favor as possible. As it is, child abuse, and especially child sexual assault, is absolutely underreported.
Another bill was discussed as well related to child abuse. Right now in Nebraska, if parents allow their children to walk to school alone or play outside without supervision, they could be charged with child abuse or neglect. Senator Ben Hanson's bill would protect parents from being charged as long as a reasonable person would agree that the child is mature enough. Most people who oppose the bill say it's not specific enough.
In the current bill as it's proposed is too imprecise and too vague, because what is sufficient maturity? To one person that could be 8 years old, to somebody else it could be 16. The same with sufficiently obvious. To one person, a certain activity might be, of course there's danger that's obvious with this activity, and to somebody else they might think, no, based on my experience, my child, my life, no, I don't think that there's danger that's obvious there.
But Hanson says this type of wording is more direct than it may seem. The term reasonable person is often used as a measure in court cases.
I think there's a lot of terminology in this bill, and I think many other bills that aren't specifically defined, but more likely interpreted by the court, such as maturity. And each court might determine that differently, like you mentioned, but a lot of other terms are, I believe, interpreted by the court at their own discretion.
Now, the Judiciary Committee didn't vote on either of those bills today. They only heard testimony. But we are going to keep you updated on their progress on air and online at klkntv.com.
Mackenzie Johnson, thank you for that report.